What's up, everyone? It's your boy Terry, speaking from the garage shop again. Here to bring you some more big bang for the buck product and info. Yeah, I know what you guys are thinking. Terry, what are you doing in the rear end of your Trailblazer SS? We saw you change the sway bar, we saw you change the shocks, we saw you change the springs, take out the airbag and change the springs. We even saw you change the panhard bar. What are you doing now, son? And you're right. Nah, today is something different. What we're gonna do is the missing piece. It's time to change the upper and lower control arms on this truck. Because one, they're old. Two, I think they might be a little worn. I'm not sure because I'm getting a little bit of a funky ride in the back. So let's just change them out. Because what I want to do is I want to restore, enhance the integrity of this truck. So let's go over to where I keep my parts and have a chat, because these control arms, performance control arms, will be perfect for going through the twisties and planting the power to the pavement on launches for when I race this truck. I mean, for a vehicle that you might want to run. I mean, this is a SUV. I mean, no one races these things. Who does that? What's up? Before we even start, you might want to hit that subscribe because big things are coming down the pike and I want you guys to be involved with it. I want you guys to check it out. So right now, hit that subscribe button right now. And while you're at it, you see that little bell? I'm gonna hit that bell for you. That bell, once you click it, will get you notified for whenever Coverman66 puts a video out. And you don't wanna miss it. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff coming down. I want you guys to be involved with it, all right? So, did it? All right, good. Today we're gonna talk about control arms, all right? You have them on the front of your car, so you know what the control arms are. Now, we're gonna address the back. Now, if you have a coil suspension, meaning you have coil springs on the rear, chances are you have an upper and a lower control arm, all right? So what I did was I removed the upper and lower control arms on my Trailblazer SS because in favor of a performance control arm. Now, what does a performance control arm do? It gives you a lot more flexibility with what you want to do with the ride. Not even so much where you can upgrade from a rubber bushing to like maybe a spherical or either a poly bushing, which will give you more of a road feel. You'll have adjustments in the control arm. Let's go with the lower control arm. This is your lower control arm, all right, off the Trailblazer SS. Actually, the rubber's in pretty good shape, but anyways. All right, but this is a fixed position, meaning that there is no adjustment. What you see is what you get. You put this in, you have to live with whatever results you get. This lower control arm replacement is massive. Why? Because it says so right on it. It's for massive performance. All right. So now, by turning these ends, these rods, you could shorten the length or widen the length, and that's important. You know why? Have you ever been to a car show and you look at the profile of a car and you see the wheels are just not centered in the wheel in the rear, like in the quarter panel? It's like the wheel is like too close to the front or either too far back. It just looks all kinds of nasty. Yeah, with an adjustable lower control arm, you could bring that wheel in to where it looks perfect. Same with a crabbing car. You ever drive behind a car and you see it like crabbing a little bit? You're just like, something don't look right with that. If that car didn't have leaf springs, if it has like a control arm, you swap those control arms out and you just move one side of that wheel back where it's even. Because these cars never came from the factory, especially these old school cars, they never came from the factory perfect. And with these adjustable rear control arms, upper and lower, you can correct most of those ugly issues. Let's go with the upper. The upper control arm, just like the lowers, they move in and they move out to lengthen or shorten the control arm. And that's important, especially once you have the rear wheel lined into the quarter panel, the way it looks perfect and you got the even space between the front and the rear. Now you want to adjust the pitch. Now the pitch angle, that's the association between the end of the transmission and the front of the axle. The drive shaft rides between it. And you want to try to get that set perfectly as possible. And that's very important because the last thing you want to do is have vibration, especially when I'm racing this truck. I mean, whatever vehicle you're racing, you want to make sure that, especially at high speeds, especially at launches and very high speeds, you want to make sure that it's just as smooth as butter. Not that I'm racing this truck. It does that. Truck. Now you got a lot of companies out there that make great replacement control arms, but I went with Massive because they're the only ones that make a spherical bushing for the Trailblazer SS, and fully adjustable, of course. Now, this is gonna help in articulation, and it comes with a nice rubber boot that keeps the end link nice and lubricated. And also keeps dirt out. Let's install these. Let's tackle the uppers first. You got a bolt here, and you got a bolt here. These are both 21 millimeter, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you get some of these ratchet wrenches because they're great. See, hold that one in place. Bolt comes off. That one's out. All right, same width right here, 21. Remove that one. Now, if you're still rocking your airbag suspension, you're gonna have to get control arms that have that little provisioning for the airbag sensor. So as most of you guys know, I got rid of my airbag suspension, so this sensor has got to go. Pop these little plastic pop rivets out, and you'll have enough room to get this long bolt out, because you're gonna move this inner fender like around, you're gonna stretch it. Save that bolt. All right, had to lift the back end up just a little bit, and I wanna quickly pull that bolt out. And the control arm, lift it up a little. Here it is. Now, as I was saying before, I'm waiting for my coilovers in the front to come so I can bring it to my boy's shop and get it fully adjusted, get everything dialed in. So for now, so I can drive the car, I'm gonna get these upper control arms as close to stock as possible. And I'm gonna do that by taking the supplied hardware and running it through. I'm gonna do just like that and doing the same on this side. Now, if I have any type of resistance, that means I either gotta shorten it or lengthen it. See, I feel it getting very tight right here. So what I'm gonna do is, no, it's the other way, it's shortening it. All right, see, there it is, now it's in. Let me just do this. All right, let me just shorten it a little bit more. And I wanna make sure that the nut goes in smooth, like that, and the nut goes in smooth, like that. I could shorten it just a little bit more. And I'm gonna just loosen this one up and loosen this. Yep. That's it, and I should be good to go. Now, if you notice, you see how they're bent on the ends? It has like a curvature to it. That's very important. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna lock these in place and install them. And like I said, once I bring it to my boy's shop, we're gonna dial it in 100%. All right, I got the uppers and the lower control arms in, and looking all kinds of beautiful. Now, as far as the surface rust is concerned, what I'm gonna do is I ran out of my favorite rust inhibitor, so as soon as I get it in, hopefully it'll be sometime this week, I'll take a steel wire brush to it, get that loose rust off, and paint them up. It'll look just as good as underneath. And another beautiful point about these control arms is that they match the color of the car, and they come in several different colors to fit your fancy. There you have it, control arms all installed, looking all type of beautiful. All right, but you might want to stay tuned, because what I'm gonna do is, as soon as the coilovers come in and I install them, we're gonna bring them to my boy's house, Nelson Rosaldo. You remember him? Yeah. And we're gonna dial the whole truck in. We're gonna do the pitch angle. We're gonna set the coilovers. We're gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna show you how to do that, and you might want to stay tuned, because every time you go to Nelson's house, he always got surprises there. That boy always got some good stuff in his garage. But anyways, I'm looking at the clock on the wall, or should I say ceiling? Yeah. Time for me to head on off and put the wheels on, take it for a ride, see how it feels, get a new vibe for the new ride. All right, but as always, please, I want to thank you guys for joining me, because I really enjoy it. Don't forget, hit subscribe, hit that, I'm not going to go into it, you got to hit that bell, all right, so you can get notified for whenever I put a video out, and I'm putting a lot more videos out Lot more content, I'm telling you. You want to stay tuned for it. So as always, please, thank you. Be easy. And I'll catch you guys real soon. Take care.